What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, first and foremost. Hope you all had a great day today. Getting into this episode of GH. Listen, I gotta be honest with y'all. I know a lot of people don't like Rory and Trina together or whatever. They don't like them as a potential couple. I think I'm feeling them as a couple for the simple fact that Rory is really genuinely. He seems like he's genuinely into her, and y'all know when new characters come on the show, I'm usually very suspicious. You always got to keep in the back of your mind like they up to something. And Rory, I'm definitely gonna keep that in the back of my mind that he possibly could be, but he hasn't been showing any signs of it. That he has a nefarious motive. Even when he was around Esme, when he was talking to Esme by himself when nobody else was around, that proved that him and Esme didn't know each other. They weren't working together. So I said, cool. After that, it's like if he was playing Trina, what would the motive be? Esme is certainly not it. So what would that be? That's why I just feel like he genuinely is interested in her. And she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's smart, beautiful, talented, loves art, she's cultured. Who wouldn't be attracted to that? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. That's a lot to, be attracted to. So I could see why he, is starting to, fall for her and stuff like that. And when they were sitting there in the pool having that conversation, I love how he's patient with her. You know what I mean? Like, because she keeps having this defeatist attitude. Like, because she was telling him, oh, we should just be friends. And he was looking at her like, what? Because she keeps feeling like the other shoe is going to drop. Like, she's going to get a guilty verdict. She's going to go to prison. And she doesn't want him just, waiting on her or whatever, putting his life on hold or whatever. She just want him to move on in case she does go to prison. And he basically told her, he was like, listen, I want to get to know you better. You know what I mean? Get to know you. And he's genuinely interested in her. And he told her that. He was like, listen, I'm confident you're not going to prison. He's very positive. He speaks positivity in her. And I like that. Like I said before, I'm not hating on her and Spencer. Contrary to what some of y'all asses believe, I'm not hating on them. I do like her and Spencer together. I do, but he a pain in the ass, and I feel like he need to grow up a bit more. He been impressing me lately. He did take the stand to try and help her get out of this mess by incriminating his own self. I give him credit for it. Because that took a lot, especially for Spencer. Because we all know Spencer is selfish as all get out. But something about her and Rory I just like. And I'm tired of y'all talking about them brownies that he brought her. I'm sick of y'all. I seen them comments talking about, oh, he brought her them dry brownies. Y'all gonna stop hating on Rory. Y'all gonna stop doing it. Stop hating. That man brought her brownies. Homemade brownies that he baked. Now that's romantic to me. Cause I mean he could have went to any old crusty expensive bakery and got her some pre-baked, some store-bought brownies, but he did. He baked them himself, and I feel that. I like that. It's the little things. And like I said, he speaks positivity in her. I like it. And when they be all kissing and stuff, I like it. Cause you can see the way he look at her and the way she look at him. They definitely got feelings for each other. And what I love also is that he doesn't mind her talking about Spencer. And he was honest with her though. He was real honest with her. He said, listen, as much as I would love for you not to talk about Spencer or love to see Spencer get his or whatever the case, be underwater or whatever. He made his feelings about Spencer no secret. Like he don't like Spencer. But if it makes her feel better to vent and talk about it, he's willing to listen. I like that. There's no jealousy in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not jealous about nothing. He's confident, you know? But he made his feelings about Spencer very known, but he's still willing to listen to her without judgment. I fucking live for that. I like it. That's the type of man that a woman would want. You know what I mean? I just don't want to see him get hurt. I don't want to see either one of them get hurt in this situation. And my thing about Trina is I love me some Trina, but if her feelings for Spencer are strong, like she's really feeling Spencer more than she feeling Rory, I would rather she tell Rory that. Like she be honest with him about it. I would rather her do that. Tell him now before they get too deeply invested in each other and it comes out later. You know what I mean? And he ended up getting hurt. Because I'll be pissed about that. Not at her per se, because I'm always going to love me some Trina. I'm always going to ride for her. But, that's. It would suck to see that happen. Because you could tell, like, he really into her. And I'm feeling them. Like I said, I'm just feeling them as an overall potential couple. But if she does end up getting with Spencer, I'm cool with that either way too. Because I like the chemistry she has with Spencer. Her and Spence definitely got some good chemistry. So anyway, moving on from that. Um, I have to agree with Nina. With the conversation Nina had with Sasha, I definitely have to agree with her on that. I feel like Sasha needs to see things um from Brando's point of view. She definitely does. Instead of always thinking about me, 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 and what she needs and wants, she needs to start thinking about him. Y'all are one now. That's your husband. It ain't always about just you. It's about him. And her behavior, is putting a strain not only on her, but it's putting a strain on him. It's putting a strain on their marriage. And she needs to start thinking about that. Like, she needs to understand, you're grieving for y'all son, he's grieving too. But yet she rather take pills and drugs to cope while he rather be with her and grieve together. You know what I'm saying? She's not understanding that. It's like, y'all got to come together as one. She needs to start thinking about his feelings instead of always just thinking about her feelings all the time. It's not just about you anymore. You got a whole husband over here that's grieving his child too. Come on now. And she needs to start thinking about that. But of course, she's worried about turning up with Sienna. I could not stand seeing a drug pushing ass like this heifer strutting around looking like a little peacock with that hair. She met up with Smokes, and I see her with Smokes. I'm like, what the hell is she doing with him? Of course, Smokes is up to his old dirty ass tricks. He wants Sienna. He trying to pay Sienna to get dirt on Sasha. That's some low down shit right there. I cannot stand Smoke's little sleazy ass. He worse than an ambulance chasing lawyer. He just bottom of the barrel, just gutter. Like, what type of reporter are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you willing to stoop this low just to get some story? And Sienna was wondering why he wanted dirt on Sasha so bad, because she was like, she's not even a celebrity, like she's not even famous, like not that famous. But he was like, with this she could become infamous, and he wants to be the one to break the story that he basically is creating. So Sienna was pretty much recording their conversation. Sienna was recording the conversation or whatever. She kept trying to goad um Sasha into saying something incriminating. Like, oh, let's go to the bathroom and stuff like that. Basically to do drugs. And Sasha was like, no. She kept on deflecting. Then she kept asking her about her meltdown on TV. And Sasha kept deflecting. She didn't want to talk about none of that stuff. She kept trying to get her to say something incriminating. And Sasha wasn't falling for it. And Smokes was pissed. Because he felt like if Sienna kept on pushing with these types of questions, Sasha was going to get suspicious. And, Sasha ended up getting the hell up out of there or whatever. And Smokes told Sienna, he was like, listen, I'm not paying you shit if you ain't got nothing. If you ain't got dirt on her, I'm not paying you. So thank God Sasha actually saw them together. I was happy when she saw them together, you know. But I feel like her seeing how Sienna tried to play her is just gonna further push her into depression, further push her into them drugs. And that's not good. And Brando was talking to Sonny again, trying to figure out what to do now. And Sonny pretty much was like, well, she told you she wanted space. Give her space. And I feel like deep down Sonny was saying that because he probably wished that he would have did that for Carly like she kept asking him to do. And when he wasn't giving Carly her space, that created even more problems. And me, like I said before, at the end of the day, Sasha needs to hit rock bottom at this point. She does. It might sound harsh, but she does. I don't think there's really anything Brando can do to help her. She keeps refusing to help. So, what more can you do? You can't force a person to get clean. They gotta want to do it. Because even if he forced her to get clean, all she gonna do is turn around and go back into the drugs the first chance she gets. because she's not getting clean for herself. She's not doing it on her own. She has to do the work. So, Sonny basically told Brando, you know what? Go to your wife. Go find your wife. And, he tried to find her, but Nina was like, oh, she was here. And Nina could tell something was off about her and stuff like that. But she was like, well, she left now. I mean, I understand he wants to continue to support her and be there for her, but you just gotta let her fall. Like I said, it may sound harsh, but you just gotta let her do what she do. Um, that's just how it has to be at this point. So anyway, moving on from that. Of course, Jocelyn found out that Cameron knew Spencer was playing Esme all along, and Jocelyn's pissed off because she feels like, as his girlfriend, Cameron should have told her, and she's mad that he didn't trust her or confide in her what was going on, and she didn't care that Spencer begged him to keep it quiet. Oh, I'm your girlfriend. I'm like, Jocelyn, you're a fucking hothead is what you are. You just like your mama. Y'all can't hold water. And that's the problem. I don't, normally I would stick up for that and be like, that is your lady. You gotta be transparent, be honest. But in this case, knowing the type of woman he's dealing with, I wouldn't have told her shit because Jocelyn she can't keep her mouth shut. Every time she was around Esme, they got confrontational. Who's to say she wouldn't have let it slip out? She, like I said, she's a chip off the old block. She's a hothead. I wouldn't have trusted her. Absolutely not. She would have let anything slip out. Hell to the no. And they couldn't risk that happening. So they had to keep it on the hush. She could be angry at Cameron all she wants to. At the end of the day, he did what he felt was best. And you ain't got to love it, but whatever. You just got to understand it. And she talking about, oh, from here on out, we take Esme down together. Yeah, well, somebody already beat you to the punch. Somebody already beat you to the punch. Ain't no need to taking her down. She already has been taken down. So anyway, Nikolas come up in there talking about, oh, he cleaned up the sitting room and there's no evidence that there was a fight in there or there was a struggle. So they're in the clear on that. Ava at this point didn't give a damn. Ava said, you know what, I'm out. Because, Nikolas keep trying to reach his hand out and touch her. Ava keep backing up just like this. She said, didn't I tell you that you'll never touch me again? He thought Ava was playing. I'm like, sir, she's not playing with your ass. You lost the right and the privilege to touch her the moment you slipped the deed to Esme. You lost your all rights and privileges. So back your little ass up. Ava is pretty much over Nikolas. Like, she was like, listen, you can go deal with Spencer at this point. Because Spencer had called talking about he need help or whatever. And he was, Ava was like, go deal with what you got to deal with. But I won't be back when you get here. And Nikolas kind of made that face at her like, if you wasn't Ava Jerome, I'd put hands on you, right? Ava would fuck Nikolas up. You better go sit down. Don't be looking at her like you Ike Turner. You better go sit down somewhere. You better remember, if you seen What's Love Got to Do with it, Ike eventually got his ass beat. So you might want to go sit down. You is not Mr. Turner. Go sit down before you get hit. Cause Ava was like, listen, this ain't my first rodeo. She said, I done been in plenty worse trouble than this. She said, I could handle this on my own. I got this. Cause he was talking about, oh, we got to keep up appearances. Ava said, nah, I'm good. I'm out this house. She said, nah, I ain't forget about what you did. Just cause you try to help me cover this up, don't mean I forgave your ass or I forgot. She was like, I'm out the door. I'm good. And he told her what Spencer did and stuff like that. And Ava was genuinely shocked that Spencer would be so selfless to try to help Trina. And, she was shocked by it because that was pretty selfless on his part, because she was wondering why he would do something like that. She was still pissed at Nikolas because she was like, you're dumb enough to sleep with your son's crazy ass girlfriend. She said, I don't want nothing to do with you. So Ava ended up going to see Sonny or whatever. And, they were talking about Esme for a second and Sonny was like, well, shit, I could take care of her for good now. And Ava was like, nah, that's not necessary. It's already been handled. Sonny looked at her. He was like, what did you do, Ava? And I love how Ava did not spill the beans about that. Because she really went there for Sonny's help in exonerating Trina. Use his power to, help get Trina a not guilty verdict. I don't know how Sonny's supposed to help exonerate her at this point. Because at this point, it's in the jury hand. But Sonny was like, I'm on it. He said, I got it. And I love how Ava did not tell him everything about the fight, nothing. Because even though her and Sonny are cordial and they co-parent, she don't trust Sonny like that, nor should she. Because we all know, if she would have spilled everything to Sonny, he would have used that against her to gain more custody, just to X her out of Avery's life even more. he would have done that. Because it's not like Sonny's not above something like that. He definitely would have. So I love how she played that shit close to the vest. Um, and also, remember when Brick and Sonny were talking about giving Dex an assignment to prove himself? Trial by fire? Ava just provided the perfect assignment. A perfect assignment just fell into his lap. Because now he's going to use Dex to help with this little Trina situation. So I guess he's going to use that to prove Dex's loyalty or how sincere he is. Or to see how he move, I guess. I said, okay. I see y'all all doing what y'all got to do to come together, even though y'all don't like each other. I like it. So anyway, Jordan, brought Spencer into the interrogation room after he done called Nikolas. And she wanted to know, like, why he confessed now. He kind of brought her up to speed about the day that he broke out of Spring Ridge, and she was like, oh, why are you confessing now? Jordan, you are not this obtuse. Why do you think he's confessing? It was obvious. He did it for Trina. He knew the risk of him snitching on himself. He knew the risk that he could go back to jail, and he didn't care. So Nikolas popped up in there with Martin and stuff like that. Um, and Spencer was basically telling Nikolas to make sure Esme didn't leave town, but Nikolas was like, yeah, she did leave town. Um, he basically was like, yeah, Esme left town and stuff like that. And Jordan was pretty much insisting that Spencer stay in the holding cell for the night. And he probably ain't got no choice but to stay into a holding cell, because I'm pretty sure it's too late to wake up a judge and get, some type of bail hearing or whatever, or to get him home for the night. Because this is a whole new charge now that he has to face. So Martin, I don't know how he gonna get him out of that, but Martin gonna have to use some good fancy talk, some good fancy legal talk to get him up out of there. He'll probably use Courtney's, death anniversary as a way to, help show some type of sympathetic ear to the judge or whatever. You know what I mean? To get the judge all sympathetic and whatnot to let him out because it was his mother's death anniversary. But he better hope he got a sympathetic judge, because most judges wouldn't give a damn. They gonna be like, listen, it's a lot of people in prison who mama, daddy, cousin, brother, sister done died, and the anniversary come up and ain't none of them sneaking out of prison to go drop some flowers off. You better hope you get somebody sympathetic, because if it was me on that bench, listen, brother, I'll tell you straight like this. I'm like Novocaine. I ain't really feeling for you right now. You going back to jail. And I'll tell him this time you ain't going to Martha Stewart prison. You going to hard time. You going to Pentonville. Bet hope you don't get nobody like me up in there. But anyway, this is a pretty solid episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all all thought. And I will see y'all all later. Have a great night. Peace.